You're listening to Ignite Your Success, a podcast that inspires fitness professionals to build a strong business that enables them to serve more people and engineer the lifestyle they desire. It's Brad Shepherd here, and together with Jason Yabanowicz, we're best known for running Trainer HQ, a community of passionate and profit-hungry fitness business owners that make a massive difference in others' lives every day. Each episode will unpack for you exactly what's working and deliver best practice strategies so you can confidently grow your business and make a huge impact. Hello and welcome to another edition of Ignite Your Success podcast. And today I am joined by Instagram's hype girl, Chole Bromwich.
Yeah, what's going on?
Woo! That's some hype there. Miss Chole Bromwich. Hey, thanks for joining us. Superstar client of Trainer HQ. Really great to have you on board with us. Can you tell us straight up a little bit about what you currently do in the fitness industry and who you help?
Absolutely. So I am an online personal trainer in a very saturated area of online personal trainers.
There's a few out there, isn't there?
There's many. So online coach is a buzzword you've probably heard. And I actually got into that through Instagram, fell into that whole influencer scene quite quickly, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I help a lot of young women change their lives with health and fitness, making sure that they're creating a healthy relationship with food and exercise.
Love it, love it. And you also mentioned to me today during our session, there's also a tagline that you like to have. Yep. Can you repeat it for me? It's
that I create healthy hot girls.
That's the one.
Healthy hot girls that break up with their boyfriends is a thing I've accidentally done.
That's happened a few times, is
Absolutely.
it? Oh, to find the right guy.
Self-confidence. Let's go.
Now, you didn't start as an online coach, no. But so I want to backtrack a bit. Well, first things first, happy birthday, because it was just your birthday recently.
It was, yes, thank you.
And you've turned how old?
22.
22, wow. Imagine being 22, Jesus Christ. How good. You've achieved a lot in for a 22-year-old, but I'd like to get a bit about the background from, not many years ago you left school, right? Yep. And then what career path were you going on? What got you into the fitness industry?
So originally I was going to be a dentist at Newcastle Uni, which often freaks people out because they're like, what do you mean? Just because I do love and I'm very passionate about health and fitness now. And I went on a solo trip to Europe by myself and apparently had a revelation, came back and told my mum I was going to move to Queensland and study to be a personal trainer instead. She wasn't the biggest fan of that originally.
She go, what?
Yeah.
From a dentist?
Yes.
Nice, secure job there, isn't it?
And Newcastle was quite close to her. And then essentially, went to New South Wales TAFE in Kingscliff, did it there, studied there, and honestly just fell in love. I think I've always been an active kid, healthy kid, so definitely it was a passion of mine for my entire life, really. And then stepped into that and, never looked back. So it's great.
And how old were you when you went and did the study at Kingscliff?
I was 18.
18.
So pretty much straight out of school, I was like, goodbye everyone.
Yeah, so from there, and then did you then keep moving? Is that what got you to Brisbane?
So I studied at Kingscliff. I ended up moving to Coolangatta just to be a little bit closer to the beach. It was absolutely awesome, loved that. Ended up becoming a PT, did all that for a little bit there. And then just moved up to Brisbane and then became an F45 trainer. So ran a gym up there for a while too.
Great, excellent. And from my memory, because you've been working with us for well over a year, that you had pretty much come to Brisbane and you were quite secure in the fact that you're working for a good company and delivering a good program and so forth. So tell us a bit about your experience in the Group X part of things.
I love group fitness. I think it's something that I still enjoy now. So I definitely had a passion for that at the time. All the members that I trained were absolutely awesome, and I was just in a really good place and loved it. It really served me well for that year and a half that I was with the company. But just decided then to take my own path.
Yeah, and so that part is the part I find fascinating. How long did you spend working in the Group X part of it and delivering those programs?
So it was only about a year and a half, but I absolutely loved it, as I said, while I did it. And then it just was something that I didn't become as passionate about anymore. And I thought kind of what's the next step that I can take? Now I'm an online coach.
Yeah, and so many people move from being a physical, one-on-one personal trainer to then moving into being, say, an online coach. But for you, the transition transition was going from delivering, group classes and pretty much straight into it. And when we first kicked off and our working relationship together, I mean, you had a following, didn't you? And I remember you telling me, I'm not really sure exactly what I'm doing, with all due respect.
Yeah.
And
Still don't.
Well, I think you're going pretty well, in my opinion. And I think back then you was like, I threw up a post and I sold an introductory program. Can we rewind the clock on your introductory program and how that part all played out?
I forgot about that. So it was after kind of COVID hit, I'd come back, I'd been in America, which was fantastic. I'd moved to Brisbane, and I was actually before I'd started F45. I didn't really know what to do. Had a smaller following than I do now on Instagram, and I was like, I need to make money. I'm not moving back home. I don't know what I'm going to do. Obviously super passionate about health and fitness in general. So I just put up a little story. It was like, I'm going to make a fitness challenge. What's something that I love doing? Created a kind of an ebook guide, a Facebook page. I ended up making $10,000 in 2 days, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember when I think we were sitting in this very office and you pretty much said in these very words, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I just threw it out there and these people jumped on it and I ripped straight into it. And
and it was pretty cool. It was only Canva and Facebook and a little Instagram story, and we started something new, which was really cool.
All right, well, let's and what I love about this journey, and for like many people who listen to this, at different stages of their journey in the fitness industry, many different walks of the fitness industry, what I like is that anyone can draw inspiration from just having a go, and that's what I love about you, and that's one of the things that I've resonated with many of our chats. Now, let's fast forward the clock. Can you sort of give us a bit of a rundown on how the business currently looks today? How many people you serve and so forth? So
now my business, I literally run straight from home. Literally my desk is next to my bed with something I'm working on. But I essentially have just over 55 clients. So I got 57 and I run that completely through an online system, which is really awesome. We do nutrition, we do training, and then we have check-ins and all those sorts of things. And it's just a really good system that I'm really passionate about. So I think that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, and I know the answer to this, but I'm sure people listening to this would love. Can you sort of run me through what a typical day looks like in the life of someone like you who's now, on their journey and creating the lifestyle they want?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm usually up by 4 a.m. Again, if you're a fitness trainer, you're kind of used to that. Literally at the gym, do my training session.
I got a butt in there. Most PTs are up at 4 a.m., but begrudgingly, right?
Oh, yes. But begrudgingly. That's true. And funny enough, I actually get up earlier now than what I did as a group fitness trainer. But the difference is my life, my terms. And I'm very excited to be up and awake. So straight to the gym, do my training session. I'm home. Then I get to have my time to eat, do my breakfast, sort out my life for the day. I'm pretty much at the desk by 7. I tend to my clients and do whatever needs to be done, and then by 4 or 5 get for a walk, have my dinner, and in bed by 7 and back to it again the next day.
Yeah, that's cool. So what I love about it, again, back to that engineering your lifestyle the way you want it on your terms. And like we said, for many PTs, it's the getting up early, servicing early clients, doing all that sort of stuff, and doing it because they have to. Whereas you get up now out of a desire to want to get up and so forth. So let's delve a little bit deeper then into the day, because then you're the Instagram hype girl.
I am, yes.
And so the way I picture it is that you're the person who loves to, get in. I can see you running the F45 class and see the energy you bring. So how is that transition then moving to being an online coach and then spending a lot of time at home in front of at a desk, all that sort of stuff?
It was a crazy transition. My body didn't cope with it originally because I'm used to bouncing up and down off the walls all day, every day. But I've kind of been able to channel that energy, one, into serving my clients a lot better than I would have if I was doing group fitness. But two, then into, if you have seen my Instagram stories, I don't get the term hype girl for no reason. I do a lot of motivational either stories or posts, and my energy kind of gets channeled into that, which I really do enjoy. And I feel like, serves a purpose, which I love.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you don't really feel like there's a disconnect there because you had that opportunity to express it through that channel.
Absolutely, yeah. Just something else.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey, and I mean, you're now going to your next stage of business and into our working relationship together. Tell us about what the next part looks like for you.
So the next stage for me is actually hiring my first staff member and then eventually moving on to my own team, which is really cool. Something that I have always wanted to do, but not something I necessarily thought I could do. So getting to a point now where I actually envision that and see it happening as we were actually chatting about today is really exciting.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, you know, where do you see this going? Like from your perspective, you know, you've built a really great business, you've got a good following and so forth, but ultimately, if we fast forward the clock in, say, 12 months' time, what could it look like for you, or what's a nice outcome for you?
My goal would be I feel like 3 staff members is kind of my goal. One of my goals, which is funny for a lot of people, is actually to have my mum work for me, so I can get Mama Stace on the team by the end of next year. I think that would be really, really awesome.
If you listen to this, Stace, we've got our eyes on you, just quietly.
She's definitely listening, which would be really cool. And I just think being able to build a team that really is able to push my vision forward is something I'm really passionate about, and creating like-minded people, but also they're able to add their own flair as well.
Yeah, that's great. So yourself plus, you know, 3 coaches, and obviously the sky's the limit on where this could potentially go. But I think for you got a clear picture on ultimately what that might look like. Yeah. Now let's talk about the people that you service, because I've heard you refer to them as my girls.
My girls,
so let's talk about my girls.
I love my clients so much. It's really awesome. I think I'm a big believer in your vibe attracts your tribe, and a lot of people that do filter through Instagram, I have built a very close relationship with, but that's purely off the basis that I really want to help people find their own version of health and fitness. I'm not one to copy and paste the same program, same nutrition. I really, you know, value that one-on-one experience with them, and they've all actually become, to be fair, quite good friends of mine now too. So yeah, I love them so much, and I'm able to really attend a lot of my time to them.
Yeah, that's great. And what demographic do they fit into, sort of in terms of age and so forth?
I have everywhere between 17-year-old clients all the way up to 35. So nice big gap there.
Yeah, that's great. And so obviously on Instagram, there's a lot of crap on there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and every day, like the you know, new stuff, all that. So I guess, what are a couple of ways that you feel that you potentially differentiate yourself from other online coaches out there, or other people who are just trying to give fitness advice and all the rest of it?
I think the first thing that comes to my head is just that I've always been authentic. I've never pretended to know something I don't. I've always just, you know, given the best of my ability to, you know, to everyone, but I've never overstepped that boundary, which I think a lot of people, especially on the internet, because you can, a lot of people do. So I think just being authentic and showing up and believing in your own self and your own vision creates that differentiation as well, because as we said, there's a lot of people that can just sell a lot of things on the internet, but if they don't truly believe in it, you're never going to really get there. So yeah, I think that's probably my biggest thing, is just showing up as me.
Yeah, it's a great quality to have, and you know, through our working relationship together, you've been an outstanding client of ours here at Trainer HQ, and you know, since from day one, look, I think the thing that I observed is with you, what you see is what you get, and so it's not like I see one person when I'm chatting to you here, or I see another person on Instagram. It's like the same person every single time, and therefore, you know, that definitely resonates and that comes across. So so it's and you know, once again, hey, from a guy who's sitting here 47 years old, when I hear 22, I go, that's incredible that someone's achieved all that at that age. And you know, for you, obviously still plenty on offer, you know, plenty still to do, and plenty of exciting things for you to accomplish. So
I ain't slowing down yet.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, that's for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the nutrition side of it, because I imagine this would be a large part of, you know, what comes into your clientele and so forth. So, you know, what are some of the common traps that you see people falling into with nutrition, either, you know, beliefs or misconceptions or things that are out there?
Sadly, still to this day, carbs are demonized, which makes me very sad. I love carbs. They're my favorite thing on the planet. And a lot of less is more still comes up. I think a lot of the females that I do work with tend to have disordered eating habits, or just really skewed ideas about what they should or shouldn't eat. And I think, my goal really is to just help people bring it back to basics. Let's, you know, relearn the stuff that we should have probably known or learnt a long time ago, and just get rid of all that BS, because there's a lot of crap on the internet again and again, like I said, demonizing carbs and stuff like that. We don't need.
Yeah,
No,
and
no.
you're still finding it's huge out
It's
there.
massive, yeah. Or
yeah.
people putting butter in their coffee. What is that about?
Well, I do that, but
Why did you know? I should have known.
I'm booking in for a session later. Yeah, I find it, from my perspective, being in the game for 27 plus years, and it's just like, I guess there are so many fallacies and misconceptions out there, so many traps that people fall into. And I think ultimately the thing that I learned early in the day is that a lot of it is not rocket science.
No.
And for 80-90% of the population, there's going to be a formula it's pretty proven and it works with the right mindset.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of enough people just don't take enough time to get to know themselves. And if you don't have a coach that allows you the space to like make a mistake and learn better and give you the space to just be human, because at the end of the day, we all still love to enjoy our lives and have fun. But like you said, it's not rocket science. It can just be made out to be, which is what really confuses people.
Yeah. It's absolutely fascinating. That's for sure. All right. Now, outside of your own, I guess, fitness business that you're building successfully, you're also building your personal brand. And
That's
so
right.
can you shed a bit of light on, where an opportunity exists for someone like yourself to be able to keep building and looking for new opportunities and so forth?
Yeah, so again, I accidentally fell into the influencer game probably about nearly 2 years ago now, and it was
You
purely...
didn't put it on your goal board? You weren't like, this year become an influencer?
No, and to be fair, I think it was a little bit of karma, because I actually used to really make fun of people that have made money on the internet or were influencers, because I really didn't understand. And I got to a point when I was 18 or 19 and I didn't have a very good mental health, I would, call it. And I needed like an outlet. So I was like, okay, what do I enjoy doing? And I enjoy eating. I enjoy cooking healthy food, and I enjoy exercise. So I kind of just started posting things like that on social media, and it got a bit of traction. Again, I think, like you said, you see is what you get. And so I just was very authentic from the beginning. And that's kind of, enabled me to build a relationship with a lot of different brands. That's opened up a lot of career opportunities that I didn't even think were possible. So my two biggest brands that I work with now are My Protein and then Riderwear. And through that, I've been able to meet so many people and had so many experiences, which has been really awesome. So I'm very excited to kind of see where that venture takes me still. Yeah,
that's great. And I guess from a business perspective, and everybody who's, listening to this and who's building a business, building a brand, to go, I see so much in terms of synergy and so many ways that, this can benefit both you, the companies you work with and so forth, and assist you to build a stronger community of people as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's been really awesome. And even just with, like you just said, with my own personal brand, but also with my company, finding a team in general of like-minded people, clientele of also like-minded things, also just, it all runs beautifully together.
Yeah, it's great. And so if we backtrack a bit and we go back to your routine now, you made the 100% complete transition into online coach roughly how long now?
It was only June this year. So June's 6 months-ish ago.
So really since sort of July 1, since the start of the new financial year.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so you're coming up to, not quite 6 months of being a full-time online coach.
It's awesome. I love it.
So, and that was going to be my next question. So what's some advice to people who might be listening to this and go, all right, well, hey, look, if Chloe's got the ability to do this, I like the sound of this as well.
Yeah.
What are a couple of tips that you might give to someone if they were to tap you on the shoulder and say, look, can you give me a little bit of advice on what I can do to try and get myself into this space of online coaching?
The first one really scares people, which is to say you just have to dive in and do it. I tried to balance both for a period of time there, and it just didn't work because I wasn't able to give my full self. I think if you're going to do anything, just do it wholeheartedly and passionately, and understand that half the time your fears aren't actually real anyway. We kind of demonize a lot of things and freak ourselves out with things. If you want something, you absolutely can get it. I think you just need to have that clear vision and go, why do I want it? Get really clear on your goals and just jump into it. Give it a shot, because again, like I said, I'm only 22 and I never thought that my life would ever go this way whatsoever. And I am a literal loser from a small coast town who was going to be a dentist, and look what I'm doing. So if I can do it, you can absolutely do it too. Do your research also is another tip that I would give. There's so much out there now that you can can, access for free that gives you a lot of help. I just asked around. I asked a bunch of people that were already doing online coaching that also had online coaches, and I was able to kind of, have tips or tricks through there. But you kind of learn through trial and error, like anything. And having people's help is also definitely beneficial. Like these guys, I think if I hadn't had someone to kind of like hold my hand along the way, I probably wouldn't have done all the things that I have purely just because I was unsure. But yeah, so love it, do it, you got it.
Yeah, great advice. And yeah, back to that. I mean, when you first started with this, you wouldn't have actually turned 21 yet. So you would have been still 20 years old. Yeah, and I remember at the time having that conversation. And, those of you who are listening to this will, I'm probably not the only one who would say that you're wise beyond your years. And even at the age of 20, I was super impressed that someone's turning up. And I think I asked you a question like, well, why are you reaching out and why are you looking for help? And you were just look, well, I want to do this. I want to do it correctly. I want to set it up with the correct framework, get the right support, put the right systems into place and so forth. So, and that part's paramount, for anybody who's in business at any stage and at any level. So, I really commend you on that. And that's, just such an important part of it. And in many ways, I guess, like you described to me about the way that you run your program, for your people who are working with you, same format. You got to follow my framework. You got to follow stick to the game plan, and you're going to get there.
Absolutely, yeah. Trusting in somebody else, I think, is important. It's something that I was scared to do for quite a while. I was like, I can do it all by myself, but having someone there to support you, and like you say, having a framework that actually does work and is proven to work, definitely is beneficial.
Now, I've been there and done it in terms of growing a team, and you're about to be on the cusp of it.
Woohoo.
So people that might be, say, listening to this and, they're looking at this going, wow, there's an opportunity here to come and potentially be part of this growing business.
Yeah.
What might someone expect to gain from coming and being part of your team?
Oh my gosh,
the Health
the
Hype
most
team.
Awesome boss ever. Nah, kidding. I really, really just, am, as I said, really passionate about my business and what I do. And I just would love to have a team of people that are also passionate about what they do, that are willing to spread my message, which, as I said, is, helping women find their own version of health and fitness and nutrition, because it looks different to everyone. And I think, coming to work with me, there's a lot of room for growth. I have a lot of clientele ready to go. And I think, I'm just really excited to do it, grow, see where we can go.
Yeah, it's outstanding, and already, a great community you have. And I guess we talk about the ripple effect here at Trainer HQ about going, well, as you have coaches come on board, be part of your team, you get to, your leadership improves. You build a community. Yeah. Each one of your coaches has a number of clientele or a number of girls who come on the program, and ultimately their lives get impacted in a positive way. So that's where that ripple effect starts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a cool thing to be a part of, and ultimately, for you as a business leader and a business owner, it's that next stage of growth as well. Yeah. To assist you in your journey as well, to grow more people.
Absolutely. So excited.
And you get to eat carbs. Even.
All the carbs, pizza, pasta. Oh, so exciting.
No buttering coffee, but
no buttering yet, Brad.
So obviously people might be curious. They want to know, okay, I want to check this girl out. Where can I find her? So give us some places where we can come and source what you do. I am going to just hit you with the Instagram handle straight away, which is at Chloe, CHLOE, and then Bromage, BROMAGE. Otherwise, chloebromage.com.au is the other place you can find me as well. Fantastic. So we'll make sure that this gets put in the notes as well, so that you can access that. But it's an absolute pleasure. Look, you're one of our, what I refer to as our high performers here. You're also one of our young guns, and the future looks incredibly bright. So we're incredibly proud. I know Brad Davis, who has the privilege of working with you one-on-one, knows that every time he turns up for a session, he's got to be ready, because the hype girl's bringing the hype. Yes, getting excited, yelling at him over the phone. And it's an absolute pleasure having you as part of our team. So I want to say thank you very much, and want to thank you for taking the time out to be part of this and share your insights, because I know for a fact that what you're doing is going to be hugely inspirational. Not only to many of the girls who form part of your community, but to many people out there who want to do and want to have what you have as well. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Really enjoy being here. My absolute pleasure. All right, gang. Well, thank you very much for joining in, and stay tuned for more on the Ignite Your Ultimate Success podcast. And I want to thank once again Miss Chole Bromwich.
Thank you. Peace out.
Boom.